Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Bearded Respect, number 109.
What's up?
Sorry, we're a little later than normal. Having some technical issues.
I blame the cell phones.
Uh, I've had problems all
AT&T,
day.
Verizon, all that stuff in New York City, California. That's what caused it all.
Yeah, very possible. um, and I'm Scott, Mr. Bruce City Bearded. This is Mike or Brewer, and we will be right back after this intro video. Hello, and we are back. You just want fireworks.
I actually want to turn it off. I don't know how.
And if you haven't noticed, we are Jasonless. Um, if you haven't heard, he has a detached retina in the opposite eye that he had fixed last time. So he had to have surgery today. Have Mike? Have you heard any updates?
I have not, but he said that he had phone trouble earlier in the day as well. So I don't know if that's an issue or what's going on, but you know, hopefully he's just resting, recovering from surgery. But yeah, we haven't heard anything yet.
Yeah, and he said he'll probably be out a couple of weeks. He said the worst part isn't the surgery; it's the recovery.
Yeah.
So it took him a bit last time, but
Yeah. And that's why I have to do his job tonight.
Keep moving on. So you want to say hi to these fine people here today?
Yeah, yeah. Because we don't want Jason to strain to read these names and everything. You know, strain his eyes.
Yeah,
But
I don't know if he'd be able to make it through in his current state.
but I expect to be compensated for this, doing his job by him. All right. So first we've got E. Thank you for stopping in. What's up, E? Johnny Beard. Bueno. What's up, man? Thanks for coming in.
Hey.
Aldemir. What's up, Aldemir? Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, long time no see.
You're not that guy, pal. Trust me. You're not that guy.
Wrong button.
James Hansen. What's up, man? Thanks for coming in.
Hey, middle chef.
No. And there's the lovely Becky. I hope you're doing well. Thank you for watching.
Hello, Becky.
Like there's anything else interesting to watch tonight. Brother Phil, what's up, man? How are you doing? Thanks for stopping in.
How you doing, Phil?
Hey, brother.
Chief, what's up, Chief? Thank you for stopping in. And we got Max McKenzie. What's up, man? And the Channel of Whatever. Have you ever watched the Channel of Whatever?
Have I seen the channel of whatever?
Yeah, have you watched that channel?
No.
I haven't either. We should sometime.
Whatever.
Jacked Up Leatherworks. What's up, man?
How you doing?
Been seeing more of his content on IG. That's pretty cool. TV, what's up? Thanks for stopping in.
What did he say?
Bayou Beard Life, what's up, man? He dropped some content earlier today on IG. Corey Hawkins, brother from Canada. What's up, man? Thanks for stopping in.
Yeah.
I have a feeling we might talk about him a little bit tonight.
Hello there, children.
Maybe not. I don't know.
We'll
Dak
see.
Cajun family.
How you doing?
Dak Cajun, I need to watch your YouTube videos. I just found like a
No
thumbnail
way.
recently with Dak Cajun, and he's doing it with his son. So I definitely want to watch it. I just trying to find the 5-10 minutes to watch it. Donald Long, what's up, man?
How you doing, Donald?
And let's see, we got D Dot, which I think is actually Todd. Todd backwards. I'm not sure. Maybe you can confirm that, D Dot. Or double DOT. Mr. Patton from Nebraska. What's up, man?
Hello.
Hello, neighbor.
And we've got Big Stu. His name's not really Stu.
That was a good one.
He's an
Yeah.
awesome dude. And we got B Kaz, another brother from Florida.
Hi.
What's up, B Kaz? You may remember him from last week. If not, make sure you watch the replay. Matt Foley, what's up, man? I learned that Matt Foley and I have similar colors in our beard. We could be brothers. Tynomite,
Hey, brother.
what's up, man?
A Dynamite.
Hopefully seeing him next month at a competition. Tuna Terra. Well. Thanks for stopping by. And
The well guy ain't even here.
Official Ken. Aloha, ma'am.
I will say
Thanks for stopping by. Bearded Wiley. How's it going?
What's up?
You what?
And we got Notable.
Hey, Evan.
What's up, Evan? Thanks for stopping in. And I think I'm getting to the end here. Let's see. I don't know, Tara. How do you dab?
Hello.
Diablo, what's up, man?
Hey, Diablo.
Nice to see you here. Thanks for stopping in. Cell phone hiccup this morning sent half the U.S. in the Lord of Flies.
I'm still having issues.
Really? I untouched in Wyoming. Nothing's happened with the phones.
Tells me I don't have a SIM card.
Oh,
I don't have friends.
jeez.
I got family.
Do you have AT&T or Verizon?
T-Mobile.
Oh, T-Mobile. I heard Verizon's the best one right now. Like for today. Like they weren't affected as much as like AT&T. I don't know. Dabble's got us on the big screen. That's awesome. Nicholas Z Bearded. Thanks for stopping in. Appreciate it. Yep, Jason. Hope the surgery went well. I'm sure he'll reach out to us when he's feeling up to it. Hopefully, he's just sleeping it off. Lee, thanks for stopping in.
Hello, murderer.
Let's see. I think I might be at the end.
Cool.
My scroller's a little bit slow. It's not used to doing this much scrolling.
You're faster than Jason.
Let's see. So let me just speak briefly on this before we get to our show. Oh, Finest Mixed Breed. What's up, man? Thanks for stopping in. He's doing an elbow cough. I think that's the dab that Tara was looking for. Excellent. So what I was going to say is Saturday, I got to meet up with a bunch of bearded brothers in Pittsburgh. Jason and I met with Johnny's Beard and Matt Foley and Big Stu, Bearded Chief, Sage Beard. Who am I missing?
Well, here, I can help with this. Just a second.
I feel like I'm missing someone.
Well,
What's
you
up,
might
Jay
be,
Spears?
but here, I got something that'll help with that. Or I did.
Awesome. So yeah, I got everyone. We initially were supposed to meet at Beto's Pizza, the oldest pizza place in Pittsburgh. They're known for their hot pizza crust with cold toppings, which is like the whole purpose of going there because a lot of guys were talking it up. We did meet there. Parking was full. There was nowhere to park. It was on a busy highway. So you can't park in the street or anything, only their parking lot. And the place inside was completely full. I mean, there was just people standing up eating. So thanks to Big Stu with this quick thinking, he dialed up an Italian restaurant just a couple blocks away and was like, hey, we got 9 people. Can you fit us? And they're like, yeah, come on over. And so we ate there, and it was delicious pizza. And it was hot pizza. All the toppings were hot. And we had wings, and we had some mozzarella sticks and some French fries, stuff like that. But very good food. Great to meet all the bearded family. Thank you. I appreciate so much for everyone coming out to see Jason and I. And it was, just a thrill for us to meet people in person, in real life, that we talked to on the internet. So, no, we didn't go to the Olive Garden. No, no, but it was a mom and pop old pizzeria. It was so good. You could just tell everything was fresh. Tasted so good. And supposedly they're the best pizza in Pittsburgh. But Big Stu had never been there before, but I think he liked it. And yeah, I just we spent probably, we were there at least 2.5 hours, I think. I'm pretty sure they wanted us to leave because we were just taking space there. But I could have spent the entire day with the guys. Like
Were they that busy other than you guys?
Well, yeah. So towards like, because we met at 3, and it was like 5, so a lot of people were starting to come in to pick up their orders, and around dinner time, it was kind of getting busy. So I was like, we should probably leave. We're not eating anything or drinking anything now, so. But it was such a good time. Can't wait to do it again. Can't wait to meet all the guys. And even Bearded Chief came out for like a half hour because he had to go right to work, and he drove all the way out to Pittsburgh, probably like an hour drive, and then suddenly I'm on my own.
I'll be right.
Yeah, I don't know where Scott went. But I will say, oh, there you are. Thanks for coming back. Scared me there.
Scared myself. I plugged a plug on my computer.
Oh my gosh. That's funny.
Oh, it's one of them days.
Yeah, it is. It definitely is. But yeah, the Pittsburgh meetup was awesome. I can't wait to meet up again, wherever it is. But I definitely want to meet all the Pittsburgh crew, and we probably will next year, next July, 2025, Nationals, not Nationals, Worlds, the World Beard Competition. And it'll be so cool. What's up, President? Oh, and I wanted to say Jason's eye looked fine Saturday, so I don't know what he did in between that time and the other day.
It just happens out of the blue. There's
Yeah, there's a lot of different reasons it could happen. I think his is more, I don't know. He'll have to tell us why. So, what's up, Chris?
Is that a common occurrence among welders? Or?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. Yeah, Johnny's ready, man. He wants to be in a competition so bad. And his first will probably be Worlds, and he'll place.
Yeah. Sure he will.
Yeah. Yeah, and Johnny and his wife gave me this beautiful coffee basket out of the blue. Like, I had no idea it was happening. We got like 3 different coffees, a whole bunch of like cappuccino chocolate treats, some coffee mugs, a Chemex. It was so cool.
Wow.
It was so cool. And Steve, Bearded Chief, he also gave me some coffee, and he gave Jason's wife coffee.
Not Jason.
No.
Um,
And then we got to hand out stickers, the Bearded Respect sticker.
That's cool. I don't
Looks
even
just
have
like
one.
that. Looks just like that.
That Cajun family, just let me know when. I'm sure we can work something out.
It is in Pittsburgh,
Yes.
Pennsylvania. Sorry, I didn't mean to take his comment off the screen. I didn't get to read it. What did he say?
About a Milwaukee meetup in May.
Oh,
It's coming up this way for a
oh yeah,
or 2 or 3.
definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, get Ken Sconson, you, and
Mm-hmm.
whoever else that lives in that area.
Yeah, we'll figure something out.
Get Mike up there too, from Chicago. He drives up to Milwaukee all the time.
Yeah. Well, he said Memorial Day weekend, so
This is big news.
this is big news. I feel like I've been waiting forever.
He's gonna put them in the mail tomorrow or Saturday. And
Cool.
there's 5 samples that we're gonna be picking one from the True North Bearded Respect collab.
I'm excited.
Absolutely. What's up, Brad? Thanks for coming in. And if I missed anyone, please forgive me. This is not my usual job. I usually just kind of sit back and make comments. Jason's the greeter.
And ask 5 questions.
And I ask 5 questions. Yeah. So I'm definitely working way more than I should be. Or that I'm used to.
It's weird with 2 of us.
It is weird.
This feels weird.
It is weird. Yeah. Speaking of which, you've never had a night off.
What would you guys do if I took a night off?
We would take the night off too.
Exactly.
You've gone through like, you've had some pretty major stuff going on too, and you've just like toughed it out, man. You've had like things in your heart, things in your undercarriage, and you just come in anyways.
Yeah.
You just do the show. So kudos to you.
Well, I'd rather do that than cancel the show.
All right, so we got a very special guest tonight.
Yes, we do.
And I am pulling up my 5 questions. Let's see. We'll learn all about this fairly new company.
Yeah.
From this area. Sorta.
What's up, guys?
What's up?
How are you guys tonight?
Good, man. Good. Do you like that intro music? It's like going to a Blue Jays game, right?
Sure, we'll go for it.
I've seen a lot of
been
Blue
a-
Jays
it's been
games.
a-
I've never actually been to them there.
They're actually redoing our stadium right now. Like I think it's like a 5-year project.
Oh.
So every off season, they're like ripping out a section, redoing it.
Oh.
And I think last year was like the bullpens, like where all the pitchers sit. They actually raised them up off the ground, so they're like even with like the first row seats in the outfield. They put in like 3 new bars, like more standing room. I think this year they're redoing the second level. So it's a lot of changes in Toronto.
Wow.
They need it. They wanted to redo the whole stadium, but you can't find anywhere in Toronto, so it's impossible.
Right, yeah. Yeah, I love the location of the stadium. I used to go to games every year up until COVID. I went because I used to live not too far. I used to live 4 hours away from Toronto. And I used to bring my boys up to games. We'd spend a week up there. And I just love how it was right downtown. There's so much to do around it for like sightseeing and history and all those things. My kids loved it.
Yeah, well, they have the zoo, and with the subway and stuff too, the way it's like laid out in the TTC, it's easy to get to like any of those places. Like I think the aquarium is right next door, like right for the Sky Dome, and like the aquarium. The zoo's not too far, and then like you said, there's a bunch of shopping and stuff down there. So it's and you can always go down to the water too. So not far from the waterfront, walk along the trail and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'd just like to apologize to Tara that I don't have a top hat yet. I'm still waiting on a bedazzled version that I was told I would have at Christmas, but I haven't seen it yet.
Well, speaking of top hat, let's get into questions.
Let's see if I can answer them. If I'm a true Canadian or not.
So, first question is the same question for everyone. What was your favorite toy growing up? What was that one toy that you always played with?
It would have had to have been my G.I. Joes.
Yeah.
My age now. G.I. Joe. I was actually, when I was watching last week with BCause, I was like, oh man, they don't like there's Thundercats, Voltron, like G.I. Joes, Transformers. Like everybody's like, oh, I played with a Furby, or I had a Nintendo. It's like, man, come on.
Yeah, I was big into G.I. Joes as well.
Yep, the little like 5-inch figures with like 12 different guns that you could use on the guy. And Yep.
Flint was my favorite.
I was definitely like a Duke or like the Cobra Commander
Okay,
guy
yeah,
because he was just cool
yeah.
looking.
Yeah.
And I also used to mix worlds with my Star Wars figures as well.
See, for me it was like the GI Joes, the little like green army men,
Oh yeah,
and then dart guns. So we'd spend like hours setting up like the little green guys all over a room, and then take like your dart gun and just shoot them all like you're killing
Yeah,
them all. So
yeah. Very cool.
whatever. The times before technology.
All right, so tell us a little bit about Top Hat Company. Like, when did it start? Why is it a top hat? What is the mission?
We started back in, well, I started researching, I should say, back in May of 2023. So I've done construction my whole life. I'm pretty sure most people know that by now, like 22 years since I was 19. So my body's getting to a point where it doesn't like me working as hard as I want it to work. So looking at different income streams, stuff like that, ways I can get out of construction. Always had a beard, whether long as it is now. This is the longest I've ever had one actually, but it used to be just like shorter, whatever. But my wife and I are out for a walk with the dogs, and during the walk, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna start a beard oil company, and you know how motivating women are. Yeah, babe, whatever. You do you. So I got back home, jumped on my computer, actually found Scuba's page on how to make beard oil. So I looked at it, I was like, oh, that's easy. You just put some oil together, stir it up, good to go. So I was like, yeah, perfect. But before I actually put any money into it, I reached out to Dan C, being the biggest guy that, you know, most people know on Instagram and stuff like that, expecting no response because of his following. They usually have a social media manager or, you know, just ignore people. 15 minutes later, Dan was like, yep, 100%, start a beard oil company. And I was like, oh, that's pretty fast. And that's okay. And then he goes, where do you live anyway? I go, Canada. He goes, even more so. He goes, Canada is so lacking in variety and larger companies. He goes that it's like an untapped market. Like he said, for him, the only company he really recommends is Educated because he doesn't know any other larger companies. Like there are some that are starting to get up there now that I've kind of learned now that I'm in the community. But Educated's the big one. So Dan's like, it's like an untapped market compared to the United States. He goes, so 100%. And then 12 consults later, a bunch of information cramming after work, and here we are. It's been, 9 months now, I think, since I had the idea and now where I'm at. So
Amazing.
thankfully, I'm kind of smart and taking knowledge, so I can kind of fast track some things, but still learning every day. Like you know, it's just the way it is. So.
Yeah.
And then the top hat part of it was whenever somebody thinks of Canada, what's the first thing you think of? Outdoors, wilderness, Rocky Mountains, stuff like that. You know, snow, which I've only had snow once this year. I think Ken Wisconsin's had it more than I have, and I keep laughing at him.
I live right down the road.
Yep. So for me, I was like, man, like anything you think of Canada is, you know, outdoorsy. It's snow, it's Rocky Mountains. So I wanted something different. So I was like, I want that like luxury kind of like side of it because you don't see it too much. Like Educated is kind of in the same, you know, that upscale suits and that kind of stuff. But I didn't really know about them before, but I do now. But that's kind of why I went with the top hat theme. You know, that luxury side of everything. So.
Very cool. And then you decided to go when you first started, I think, with just an essential oil lineup, right? Like,
yeah, so we're still all essential oils. I have been doing some comments in Dan's group. I don't know if I've done any on Instagram lately, but kind of probing people as to what they prefer, essential oils, fragrances, and kind of why they prefer it that way. For me, I like the benefits from essential oils. I don't mind fragrance. I don't have allergies or anything like that. So it's not like it was anything to do with that. But using our product now for like testing phases and all that, getting like a few oils in, like I've got some in from Notable, I had Dr. Nick's. I just got a couple other ones. I'm starting to realize I much prefer the lighter side of scents. So essential oils really speaks to me. Fragrances, I have a very good nose. So like that fragrance smell all day, I start getting a headache after a few hours. So, but I'm sure we'll get into fragrances because a lot of people love it for the blendability, like the scents you can make. Where essentials are a lot more limited because you can, there's only so many essentials, right? So
Right. Okay. So what was your kind of passion before the beard oil company, like before developing this? Like what is something that you kind of, aside from construction, that you kind of focused on?
for me, it's one, baseball. I've played baseball since I was a kid. My shoulder from work now, though, does not allow me to play baseball like I used to. But like every summer, I'm sure you'll see pictures on Instagram when baseball rolls around. I still play slow pitch, play the outfield, stuff like that. But I like just outdoor things. Like whether it's gardening, camping, like backcountry camping, not car camping. Just going for walks, being outside. Running, although I haven't ran in God knows how long now, but I used to love it. But yeah, I'm your typical sports outdoorsy Canadian kind of loving guy, and now the beard has taken over. So
yeah, are you playing with something in your hand as you talk?
as I talk, not really. I just have this, but my dog's beside me, so I keep.
Oh, are you
I,
petting him?
Yeah, he's
okay.
Big
It's
suck.
the collar
And
or
the other,
something.
yeah, and the other one now beside me is rolling around like a crazy maniac.
Okay.
There, you can see her wonderful face.
Yeah, it sounded like metal just like scraping or clapping together. I was like, what is that noise?
Yeah, no, it's probably her collar when she's
I
rolling around
gotcha.
on the couch beside me. So I'll get her to leave.
Oh, and yeah, because made a comment here about the mic is rubbing on your shirt or beard.
Maybe it's very possible, but I'm surprised because the mic is on the phone. So unless it's like the wire from like the earphone or something like that, so I could unplug the headphones. I
No,
just
you're
don't know
good.
if it'll
You're
give
good.
like a feedback or something. So
yeah, I think it's the dog. I think it's the dog collar. That's okay. I mean, I just was trying to pinpoint it.
but I don't want to annoy everybody.
All right. Where was I here? So one thing that's on your bucket list. You can only pick one thing from your bucket list, and that's the one that you want to do.
Go to Greece.
Greece.
Country Greece.
Why Greece?
I have a Greek background. Like not my grandparents, but their grandparents. So like my ethnicity is Greece. So growing up in high school and all that, I loved Greek history. I love Greek architecture. I love like the old like Spartan warriors, stuff like that. So for me, Greece is like that's the one place. If you could tell me I could do one thing right now and never anything again, is going to Greece. That's where I'm going.
Awesome. Cool. All right, final question. Would you rather be Prime Minister of Canada or the leader of North Korea?
I don't know. They're getting kind of close, aren't they?
I don't know.
Justin Trudeau is. I don't know. He's getting there. But as of right now, I'd rather not be the leader of North Korea.
Okay.
But I wouldn't want to be the prime minister right now either. So.
Okay.
No, it's getting pretty dicey up here. So.
Yeah, I'm not in tune with the Canadian politics right now. So
well, they did. I believe right now. I don't know if did you guys hear about like the Freedom Convoy like last year, 2 years ago?
Yeah.
So it's basically happening again in Ottawa right now. All the truckers are back. All the protesters are back. So we'll see. Not a fun.
Could be worse. Sure. It could be France, right?
Yeah, true. With all
manure
the tractors and farmers and stuff.
Manure and stuff.
I saw that they're dumping it in the streets.
Yeah. I think they won though. I think they got their way.
Yeah. Last I heard, the EU was gonna back out of whatever they had proposed or whatever it was.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. So sorry, chat. We are not keeping up with the chat here.
Let me scroll the video down.
That's why we
I
need
can kinda
Jason.
see it.
I've got a couple of pinned questions.
Yeah, I've been pinning them as I see them, but I'm sure I've missed some of them.
Yeah, I scrolled the video down so I can kind of see the comments
Okay.
now because I have my phone on like landscape, so that way I show up better. So I'll kind of like read them as they come out too. So from South Park.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of Canadian episodes in that one.
Yep.
How about what was it, John Candy movie, the Canadian Bacon?
Yep.
Love that movie.
Sure was.
Yeah.
Hey, how's it going, Jose?
So here's one that I'm interested in. Oops.
Oh, yeah.
How much Bare Naked Ladies do you listen to in a day?
Not very much because I'm more of a country guy than like a Bare Naked. But every time that song comes on, like 1 week or whatever, and they like rap that like bit at the back, my wife always looks at me because I know it like word for word, and she's like, "How can you know all of that?" I was like, "I'm old. I listen to it too much." So.
So I got to see him in concert in Pittsburgh when I lived there
Oh, nice.
back in '94. And If I Had $1 Million was their like big hit back then.
Yep.
And I was there with Kraft macaroni cheese. And when it was cued, we all threw it on the stage at him. It was so much fun.
Oh, that's crazy to see what Corey put. He partied at their cottage a couple summers ago. Yeah, Corey meets all the cool people.
Yeah, that's awesome.
We had, assume you know who the Glorious Sons are.
No.
Well, they're the Canadian band out of Corey will know. I think it's Kingston, I want to say. But every year, Port Colborne in the area, they do like Canal Days. So Glorious Sons were, they were like the big headliners for the weekend. So Corey actually sat down and had like a beer with one of them at one of the local bars they were sitting at. So.
And Chris also wants to know, were you
thought-
conflicted when the Mountie feuded with Bret Hart?
It's Bret Hart. Chris, every time like I'm going on a live somewhere, I always get a message from Chris like the day before. And he's like, I am coming up with the weirdest questions to ask during this live stream. And I'm like, I wouldn't expect anything else from you. That guy is hilarious.
He is. Bret Hart was an awesome wrestler when I was younger.
Yep.
Why didn't you wear your luxury Canadian tuxedo?
I actually, so I assume you're talking about the jean jacket and the jeans. Is that a Canadian tuxedo, or is he talking about flannel? Which one?
That's funny.
Because I don't own a jean jacket, so
That is so funny.
Yeah, I guess I failed.
Wow, are you even Canadian?
I guess not.
Do you
Moving to America.
go around with a fanny pack?
I do now, but I wear it over my shoulder.
Oh, not around your waist. Yeah, you're definitely not
No, I
Canadian.
wear it around. No, I put it around my waist a couple days ago. My wife laughed at me. So the sharpshooter.
Big Stu.
Actually, funny enough, Dan Command told me I should make a scent called the Canadian tuxedo.
There you go.
Yeah, see, he's like, there you go. It's a perfect scent
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah. So Big Stu wants to know if you get a Rush cassette when graduating high school.
No, but funny enough, Rush is from the city where I live, St. Catharines.
Mhm.
Yep. I love their song. They sang about Port Dalhousie, which is a beach that's local to here that we go to every summer. So, you know the words Canadian iconic classic informal. Actually, I do know most of them. So, sucks to be you this time, Mr. Prez.
Oh man.
Yeah. I love it whenever I go somewhere for like Canada. All the questions you get because they're so like thrown off from like the normal stuff because most companies like are American, right?
Right.
So wherever I go, it's always like the most like randomest things they could find about Canada. I get asked like I think what was it Ken's live stream I did. where he asked me, he goes, "Is it true that the police will actually pull you over and give you like not a ticket, but like a ticket for doing good driving?" I was like, "I've heard of it, but it's not like it happens all the
Right.
time. Like it's not like you're driving down the street, use your blinker, and all of a sudden, woo, here's $5. You used your blinker." We're not that crazy, but
Or do the police apologize when they pull you over for speeding?
yeah, probably. "I'm sorry, sir. I'm sorry, wherever you're going." That's so funny.
What's up, William Shepard?
Why is Canadian bacon not bacon? Are we talking about like female bacon? Or are we talking about like the movie Canadian Bacon?
Well, so Canadian bacon is like a big disc.
Yeah, so that's up here we call it female bacon. So I assume that's what he was talking about. Oh, but I wasn't
think so.
100% sure.
I think so.
Yeah.
I believe so.
Corey, maybe if more people had that, if more people would use their blinker, if they all got $5. That's crazy.
So
So
Corey, I've kind of known just like in the bearded community for years, like because he's been a big, Dan C. Like he's always been in Dan C chats, and that's where kind of I knew him from. And but now he's doing something with you, right?
So funny enough, I think it was, I want to say the second consult I did with Dan. He told me to reach out. He's like, "Hey," he goes, like, "You're in Canada, right?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like kind of whereabouts? I was like, "Niagara Falls," and he's like, "I'm not in Niagara Falls. I'm about 10 minutes away, but in that area." So he was like, "Reach out to this guy." He's like, "I'm pretty sure he lives near you." I was like, "Why do you think like why would you think that?" So at the time, Corey was working at the zip line at Niagara Falls, so he was always taking pictures of like the falls and stuff. So Dan's like, "This is his Instagram." Like, I was like, "Oh, I'll reach out." So he lives actually about 35-40 minutes from me in Port Colborne. So like I'm up against Lake Ontario and he's against Lake Erie. So it's like, like that distance between the two. So I reached out to him, messaged me back, talked to him once or twice. He came and met me at work one day, and now he's like a brother. Like we talk almost every single day. We hang out all the time. He's like literally the coolest and like just pure genuine person that you can be around. Like you ask him something and he'll, like, I'm sure even without meeting you, if you were to call him and be like, "Hey man, like I'm gonna be in the area, like do you want," "Yep, no problem." Like no, not even a hesitation. He's such an amazing guy.
Yeah.
So he's gonna be, told him, he's like he's selected family, I guess you could say, right? Like he's not my brother, but he will be friends till like the day we die now. So I almost didn't reply.
Yeah.
What a guy. Yeah, no, he did tell me that it like it got shoved off to like something else, and he was like, "Who is this guy?" But he must have read the message where it saw the Dan C part, and he was like, "Oh, I have to answer it for Dan C's sake." So
Probably. Yeah. So I think it is something with your microphone and not poker chips or something.
I don't, like I say, it could be like this thing, because I do have like a zipper or something, because I can kind of hear it in the wire because it's like rubbing on whatever.
Huh.
So actually, let me see. Give me a second here.
Can you hear us?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Is that better?
So far.
No echo or anything like that?
No.
A little bit echo, but no.
Yeah,
poker
I think it was, as you can see, like the wire.
Yeah.
So I think with it rubbing across like the collar,
Yeah.
there's like metal on here, so I think that's what it was. So as long as it's not too bad, like too echoey, then I'll just leave them out. That's fine.
No, you're good now.
All right.
Much better.
Do I really like ketchup flavored chips? I ate a whole bag yesterday of Lay's, so yeah. Like a full family size bag of ketchup chips in like an hour and a half. So
Really?
yep. I love them. They are delicious.
I've never had them.
I've had them on occasion.
Yeah. And it's funny enough because I saw a thing, it was like the Maple Leafs, like the hockey team, and like all their, like foreign players that aren't from Canada, they brought in ketchup chips and told them all to try it to see what they like. And like some of the guys like put it in their mouth. They're like, oh, those are so gross. And other guys are like, they're actually not that bad. And I'm like, wow, like it's just a thing in Canada. Apparently, like I didn't know it was not anywhere else. So it's fun. I'm like, oh, okay. Same with Ken asked me about milk in bags. He's like, do you get milk in bags? I was like, yeah, we do in Ontario, and
Right.
like a small part of Ontario, but
Yeah.
I'm just weird, I guess. Whatever.
We
It's fine.
we get milk in bags here.
Really?
At
Yeah, Ken said that like up closer to the border in Wisconsin, you can get it in bags or whatever. So
yeah, we have a gas station called Quick Trip, and they sell milk in bags.
Yep.
And then they give you a pitcher to put the bag in.
Yep.
Yeah, I've only seen it in Canada with the bagged milk.
Like I said, we're just special people up here. That's all. There's maple syrup mafia in Canada. What kind of mafia are we talking about? Nobody will hold you at gunpoint over maple syrup.
Oh, okay.
But I wouldn't go try and steal maple syrup.
I think maybe she means like a mafia owns like the maple syrup industry, and like if someone tries to get in on the maple syrup industry, there might be some trouble.
Maybe. Who knows? Fries and vinegar is gross, yes, especially malt vinegar. I will agree with that. Corey, that'd be a sticky situation.
So what's been surprising for you with this journey so far?
Surprising. I'd have to say just like the community as a whole. Like when I first started talking to Dan and like getting into it, he's like, like go on Instagram, go into live streams, talk to people, like kind of, you're a company, so you want your name to get out. But like as I met people, whether it's company owners or just bearded people or just, like wives or whatever of like bearded people, like everybody has been so genuinely amazing. I think I've only run into like maybe one or two like random companies that I like talk to or something, and it's like, we don't want to tell you anything. It's like that's fine. Like that's your prerogative, but it's like a question like, where do you get your bottles from? Like, is there more options? Like those kind of things. Things that aren't gonna make or break it, because those bottle places probably sell to God knows how many people.
Right.
But for the most part, like it's really crazy how nice and like accepting the community is, especially in the world we live in today, with like how easy it is to just be a giant pain in the butt over a phone or a message or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
But it's refreshing, especially being Canadian, because I fit in this kind of environment.
Mm-hmm.
What's Chris saying? I've heard Canadians call underwear pure igloos. Oh,
Believe it when I read it, and I already had it on screen before I read it.
pea worm igloos.
Oh, Chris.
I can't say we call them that, but maybe I should start a new trend on all my Instagram posts. Hashtag pea worm igloos. What's your least favorite part of running a beard company? There's this Tara girl that always complains about me not having a top hat, so it's kind of annoying, but I'm just kidding. My least favorite part for me right now, and it's not even that it's the least favorite part, it's how quickly people jump on shipping prices. And because it's something I can't control that. I don't get to choose, okay, I want to send cheaper or do whatever. It's just what the cost is for international shipping. So it's not like it's something I can kind of work it out a little bit, but I can't go under a certain price amount. And everybody's like, oh, well, like that's like, I don't know if you saw the post I did. Like I did a story a week or so ago, because I gotten a bunch of messages one day. I think it was like 6 or 7 different people. They're like, I'd buy your stuff, but like if the price of shipping is almost the same price of an oil. So I went to another company in the States, one of the larger ones. Like I don't want to say it because you know how it is, but I ordered an oil from them, and it cost more for me to ship it to Canada than the oil. And I was like, so it's not like it's going your way, it comes my way too. So
Right. All right.
Right.
and that's, and like people were literally shocked. They're like it's that much. I was like, yeah, I pay more than what the bottle of oil is to get it shipped to me. So just be glad that it's cheaper going the other way for you, because I'm able to kind of like work it out a little bit. But
Mhm.
it's crazy how like the shipping is. Like I can ship to Florida for almost the same price as like Calgary in Canada. Like shipping throughout Canada isn't any cheaper. Like locally for me it is, but shipping
Right.
coast to coast, because we don't have the infrastructure like USPS does.
Mhm.
So it's unreal what the shipping costs are like in Canada as like just general, never mind going international. So that's probably my least favorite part, is the flack I get for something I cannot control.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm sure, like, I would imagine some of that cost is customs too. Like, it has to go through customs, and I'm sure that adds some charges to the shipping. But you do offer free shipping, though.
Yeah. So the threshold I've been able to get to is 55 US. So basically, if you buy 3 products, it's free shipping.
Right. Yeah. So if
So
you buy
two
oil,
oils.
butter, balm, you're golden.
Yep. Or like say, 2 oils and a butter, 2
Mhm.
oils and a balm, or whichever way you want to look at it. But I've basically got it to any 3 products, because 2 products is like $38 or whatever American, and then shipping is 15, so it's like 53. So for the extra, like $3 you'll pay, you might as well get the extra oil or butter or whatever, and then you're not paying for shipping and you're still getting another product.
Mhm. Yeah, I'm always in for those free shipping deals. $55, that's like nothing. I
Yeah,
mean,
well,
considering like, yeah, like you're saving so much money in shipping.
yeah. Well, and that's like it's good. And I even looked at like the companies like Beard Octane, Copper Johns, like some of those big ones, and even like in the United States alone, where you can ship it cheaper, their threshold is still higher than what
Right.
mine. So
Right.
I'm like the fact of I want to be able to break into the U.S. market because it's larger to like be a part of. So, but for them, like, well, what can I do, right? Like, I'm like, but I also get the exchange coming the other way, so like, it works out for me. But yeah, it's crazy that except like the shipping, So
hmm
I need a beard oil mule. Well, you come to Canada and take some back with you.
I wasn't sure what kind of mule he meant.
I don't know. You never
Yeah.
know, Prez.
Like a drug mule. Or
Yeah.
like a mule.
They say I talked to. There's some guy that talked to me in like one of the Facebook groups I'm in, and basically he was saying the same thing. He's like, "Why don't I just buy a bunch of product from you at like a lower price?" He goes, "And then I'll just sell it over here, and we can kind of work something out." And I'm like, "Yeah, but I don't want to get sent to jail, so that's fine."
Yeah, that's not a good thing.
No one wants to swallow a bottle of oil. Yeah, that would hurt coming out.
Well, you could open up a business in the U.S., right?
And that's the next thing that you look at, right? Is like either opening a business or getting the tax ID to, ship to a warehouse to be able to ship from there, right?
Right. Yeah.
So I was talking to actual Tabletop the other day about doing that, like the UK and stuff like that too. So I've never really eaten McDonald's fries in the US. Every time I go over there, it's always something else. But I'm gonna assume not. They're still stringy and salty. Tastes delicious, so
I've never ate the McDonald's fries in Canada.
Well, if they're like stringy and really salty, then yes, you have.
I have a feeling that McDonald's fries are the same around the world.
Yeah, pretty much. Now the sizes are different though. You guys get much larger sizes in the United States than we do in Canada.
Yeah. I mean, I could be wrong, but so there's McDonald's owns these potato farms in Idaho, and they chemically change the way the potatoes grow and appear. so that there's no brown spots.
Yeah, and they grow longer, don't they, or something like that?
Yeah.
I saw that
And
because they
once
spray.
they're harvested, they have to put them in a warehouse for 6 weeks for those chemicals to wear off because they're highly toxic.
Yep, that's crazy, right? To think about, and then they feed them to us.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. So for that reason, I think like it's probably the same. Like they ship that stuff everywhere. I could be wrong. Like I know countries have different laws and stuff like that, but they invest so much into that to make the perfect fries.
Yep.
Only Tara would know this.
They add meat in the McDonald's fries in the U.S. Well, you're thinking of the oil, I think. And they used to. I'm pretty sure they used to add meat when they first started, and that's why everyone loved the fries. But then they were able to develop something artificial to replace that meat taste to fry them in.
Yes, you can get poutine from McDonald's in Canada, made with their fries. All right, so never mind the beard oil mule. We need a McDonald's poutine mule. And then what did BCOS say when you first started making beard oil by Scuba's video? Can you, yeah. Did you use the same carriers he did or just use the video as a reference? If I could use jojoba sweet. Oh, so I watched the video on how to make it. So I hadn't made it yet. Didn't really didn't have any oil selected or anything. It was basically for how is beard oil made, like what is in beard oil to make it. So, and then when I reached out to Dan the first time and asked him about doing it, Dan directed me to his Carrier 101 series and said, go watch those and then kind of do your research from there. So then I went through, watched the videos, kind of wrote down what oils I liked at that point, and then narrowed it down to, get a blend that, not only nourishes hair, but skin also, and then obviously the other benefits. So that way I wanted like more of a full rounded, blend for all parts of like your hair, your face, your skin. So it wasn't just like a skin oil or just a beard oil. So no, I didn't look at the oils that beard like Scuba used. I just used that as how was beard oil made, basically.
Good question, because
Because coming with it. Did you buy product prior to making your own? So I used to use Beard Struggle, actually, which I'm sure most people have probably used or tried Beard Struggle. For me, I didn't.
America.
What's that?
Not in America.
not in America. But their fragrance. I didn't like their fragrances or the way their oil felt. So I did use Beard Struggle, but not to the degree like I use beard oil now. Like, and now I use it every day. I just assumed beard oil was like kind of like a cologne. You put it in once in a while, blah blah blah. So it's not like I used it every day. I don't know how good or bad it would have made my beard and face feel if I used it every day, but I couldn't handle their scents. They're very strong scents to me with a good nose, right?
But they're a Canadian company, right?
So they're not technically Canadian.
Oh.
They are. I was actually talking to Dan about this. They are from, I want to say Norway, something like that. But they base in Canada now.
Okay.
But I think it was the same kind of deal. They kind of saw like an open market and it was like, okay. So it says their warehouse is in Vancouver, I believe, British Columbia.
Yeah, I just always saw it was a Canadian company.
Yeah, no, it's Knife Phase Solutions or whatever it is. Like I said, Dan C knows more about it. I don't know exactly, but I'm pretty sure he said it was like something like that, like Sweden, Norway, like one of those like northern. That's where they got like that Viking kind of theme to it, and they just went with it and came to Canada and marketed the heck out of it. So
makes sense.
A poutine scented oil, yeah. People really be eating the oil then, drinking it or whatever. So, your opinion on Tim Hortons? Tim Hortons sucks. The coffee is crap. McDonald's is better.
What?
But I drink Tim Hortons every day. But I get tea. I drink steep tea like orange pico. I can't do coffee anymore. I used to, but yeah, I've heard a lot of people, McDonald's in Canada anyway, bought Tim Hortons old coffee, and people prefer it much more than their new coffee. So
I heard that a couple years ago. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people much prefer, but the problem is the lineups at McDonald's are so long that everybody still goes to Tim Hortons. So
Wow.
it's like national crack, basically. So you can hate it, but you'll still go. Everybody knows it. So poutine, egg, and cheese on a bagel, that'd be kind of messy. Do you have any personal beard goals? Growing, maintaining? At the moment, no. For me, it's the journey and to see, I guess, basically see what I can get to. I went on. I don't know how many of you watched Dan's Beard Advice Live back in May when I first had the idea for the company. I emailed in about. You almost fell out of your chair going backwards, saying what? But I emailed in and asked him, like kind of what shape would work best with my face, stuff like that. I'm not good at seeing those things. And Dan said, grow it out. He goes, see what you got. He goes, just see where you can get to. So now I'm at, I believe it's 9 months now. I've only had one trim. That was like the sides back here and just a couple flyaways. Other than that, this is 9 months of majestic beard growth for me. So I don't have any goals at the moment. It's just seeing where I get to. So
yeah, and Garrett asked. I saw Garrett's question earlier. How long mine was? I don't know. I'm not sure. I know it's grown. For the longest time, I was at a terminal length.
Yep.
But ever since I started exercising and doing 75 hard, it's actually grown. So
you go testosterone, right? So
yep.
Just it's not a huge difference in testosterone, but it's still like I know Dan always says, "What's your best beard age? 42 or something like that." So I'm coming into mine this year, 42. Yeah. 42. So I'll be right on the growing, but I have all my hair, so I don't think my DHT is gonna keep me for too long. So what was the Jason just laughing? Oh, sorry, not Jason, Scott. Jason's he's probably sleeping right now. So what was the hardest lesson learned when making products? Probably I'd say probably the IFRA, being safe, like figuring out exactly how to weigh the, it's easy to take scented oils, put them in a cup and be like, oh, that smells wonderful. But then to break that down into percentages, follow the guidelines, weigh it all out, that was probably the hardest part. And then the other hardest part being in Canada is educated knows it too, obviously. We have to have French and English on all our labels. We can't just have one or the other.
All right.
You have to have that extra room for, putting the French part of it in, right? So, and I actually, when I went to Nova Scotia for holidays in October, educated everywhere down there. So I looked at one of their bottles to kind of see how they did their labels and changed mine up when I got home based on their labels and what they put on it. So that way it gave me more room to enlarge the print a little bit and relay it out so I could fit like other things on later if I need to. So
cool.
Yeah, because if you look at the holiday scent and the regular scent and look at the warning, like the warning text, there's a difference between the two, a large difference.
Oh yeah.
The warning on the original scents is like half of the label, but then on the holiday one, based on what Educated did, all I have is for external use only. That's technically all you need. So it opens up like a huge amount of like real estate on a label when you have to have English and French.
Yeah, so what he's saying is right there is the warning on your
regular
mainline scent. And then this right down there is the warning on the holiday scent.
Yep. So because of that, I was able to enlarge like the font on the ingredient, how to use it, stuff like that. So it's easier to read. You don't have to like squint your eyes for it. So it was like I said, learning from the OGs in Canada. So
I know some for their information. Some companies use a 3D barcode on there where you can access more information.
yeah, like the QR code thing.
Yeah.
I thought about putting in. So I'm actually I'm redoing all of our mainline labels right now. Like doing new artwork, changing our printer, like who we use for printing. I've thought about putting the QR code on it, but for the look and like that classy luxury look I want, I don't like the look of like the QR code being on there, so I took it off. But like I said, we in every order we send like a thank you card and stuff, and it has a QR code on it. So if somebody really needs to know extra stuff, then it's on there. And the website is on the label, so they can always go to the website that way too. So
Scott, do you want to get into your show there?
Yeah. I just wanted to
Yeah,
highlight this one thing.
Beard Wiley.
No. Here.
does Canada have a Canadian version of it? I think it's all the same. North America. I don't think it's separated.
Yes, it's the first letter I is international.
Yeah. So. Yeah, I didn't think it was different, but wasn't 100% sure. But I assumed it was because why would you have one? Although is it different for EU to North America? That would be the question to ask, because I know EU has a much higher standard than Canada and USA. So I assume it might be different in that sense. But if across North America is all the same. So.
Yeah, but I do think Canada was following IPRA before the US.
Yes.
Or those sort of standards because in Canada, don't you have to be certified kind of?
So we don't have to be certified. The
Okay.
the main difference, because that was like the first consult I did with Dan was like 3 pages of questions about all this stuff. And in Canada, we don't have to get an approval for our product, but we do have to send in sheets of our product. So our ratios of scents, all that stuff. So if there is ever a issue, they can compare our notes to our product, where in the United States, you don't have to do that at all. You can just sell stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's people in Canada that like you go to the markets that, like the soap company make their own stuff. I pick their bottle up and look at the label, and right away I'm like, yeah, you guys aren't, like you'd get shut down right away just based on your label, never mind what's in your bottle. So I'm sure there are people, but if they ever got, like kind of called upon, they'd be shut down pretty quick. So.
Yeah. Okay. A little presentation here.
Ooh. What do you think of that picture?
That's like a romance novel book cover.
Straight out of a magazine. So when we got married 2 years ago, that's like literally the suit I was wearing. Our photographer's amazing. So we took that between the reception and dinner, so around 4:30 p.m. Eastern time. Before they left our reception at 9 o'clock, I had 11 edits, and that was one of them. So he edited that within, like, at dinner.
Wow.
It's I love that picture. It's just like, honestly, it looks like a magazine photo to me. It really does.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually thought it was a model when I first saw it.
Oh, that's me and my wonderful old, like, longest beard point. So
Let's press a picture.
thank you very much.
And here, I just took this from your website.
Our story.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just explains a little bit about you and your wife.
Yep. What we do for work, kind of how we got into it, stuff like that. So just a little, little backstory, so that way, if people want to know something about us or kind of where we come from, it's there for them to read up on. So.
So they're from Southern Ontario. They're both self-employed. Of course, my thing covers up. Oh,
That's okay. Yeah. Mike's done for the night.
For over 20 years, your wife's an RMT.
Yeah, she's a massage therapist, registered massage therapist.
Okay. They've both been craving something different lately. They have many passions in life, including their dogs, family, friends, camping, sports, and of course, newer passions of beard skincare. You've been growing your beard for on and off for years, but within the last 5 years has gotten more serious about it, having tried many brands. Nothing ever stuck out as your favorite. Grew the longest beard for your wedding back in 2021, and although it was great, you weren't able to tame it as well as you were hoping.
Yep.
So you cut it back in 2022. Since then, it has been a roller coaster, and finally, earlier this year, started growing out again. You could play around with the products more and give some insight. A lot of long nights after our regular jobs have been given a quick turnaround of putting the company together, sourcing out the best products to use, and striving to provide the highest level of quality. As we want your beards to achieve top tier beard status, we also have been having family and friends test out the unscented versions. So we have real life honest research and thankfully have had a fantastic success rate. Even though we've only been established since May of 2023, we have been playing around with our product nonstop for months and finally have been able to come up with some amazing blends. Wanted to create a brand in hopes to give all those beards a sense of elevated style. We hope to give your beards a life of luxury they deserve and can't wait to see what else we can come up with. Keep it going. Thanks for coming along for the ride. Cheers.
My wife has a way with words.
Yeah. Pretty cool.
Yep.
So we've got your beard oil, $19 for a 1 ounce.
Yep.
And the ingredients are argan seed oil, squalene, camellia seed oil, meadow foam seed oil, rice bran oil, and perfume.
Well, it's essential oils, but the Canadian labeling laws, it either has to say parfum or aroma, or you list all the essential oils out with their scientific names. So I used parfum, but I may switch it to aroma based on a poll, because parfum makes everybody think that it's fragrances or perfumery, where aroma might say just a scent, a little nicer than perfume. My wonderful old wife. Oh boy, I'd be in trouble.
Huh?
Oh, Tara, I thought you were about to say your wonderful old wife. Oh my god. No, I'm the older one. So
We've got the Beard Balm, $19 for a 2 ounce. And I did note that down here, it is unscented. Just so everybody knows that it comes without a scent. And it has shea butter, beeswax, argan seed oil, squalene, camellia seed oil, meadow foam seed oil, rice bran oil, and is unscented. It does work very well. I think it's more of a softer conditioning balm, but I kind of tend to like those balms a little more than the other kind.
Yeah. And again, like I said, I don't really use balm in my beard. So oh, there's Mike with the balm right there. So I reached out to Mike and asked him if he'd try it out, and it just happens to be that he ordered some before I even sent it to him. And I asked them how it was, because for me, I went for like I'd say like a medium, but on the lighter side of a medium hold, maybe even light, like a higher light hold. And that's, like I said, I don't know if I should make it a little stiffer or not, but he said that he enjoyed it the way it was. So I have no plans on changing that hold. If somebody wants something a little bit stronger, I am working on a mustache wax, so they can use that.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I think the bomb is perfect.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed all your products.
I appreciate the honesty when I reached out to you guys asking what you guys thought of them, because like I said, if you blow some fluff up my butt, I can't make it any better. So I'd rather know if it was bad so I could change it. So
yeah, I remember when you first kind of opened and you were kind of interrogating me, why won't you buy my stuff? I said I want to see a scented butter, at least, and maybe a scented bomb.
Yeah, well, and
you met me halfway.
Yeah, I've talked to a couple people, because I've sold a lot more butter than bomb. Like, I think the bomb for like the three of you guys, I might have sold maybe 2 more.
Yeah.
And like the bomb, so I think I've only sold like 5 bombs. So for me to have the scented bomb, isn't worth it.
Doesn't make sense. Yeah.
No, so that's why I was like, but you know what? A lot of people buy the butter, so you know the scented butter was more up my alley, and especially for me who uses butter and not the bomb really. So the scented butters was, like you said, you know, if somebody wants the scent that much, then you know, I guess we could figure something out. But based on the amount of bomb I've sold, and I think you've even told me that too, Mike, that it's kind of like a dying product. It's not. Now that butter's around more, a lot more people are using the butter over balm. So
yeah, when I first started using products, like that's all that was available was oil and balm.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, that's like 10 years ago. I mean, and so that's all I used forever until 4 years ago I started using butter, but I use all 3. So to me, I mean, I still buy the balms and use them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think the way Mike does it, where he does the butter and then he kind of seals it in with balm, especially in the winter months.
Mm-hmm. When it's dry,
it really seems to help.
Yeah, actually,
dry months.
Something I should probably, I've noticed like lately, to work, because I work in dry conditions and stuff, and with the winter, I'm finding it a lot harder to keep my beard moisturized. Like it's not that it isn't moisturized, it just seems like dry, a lot drier, a lot faster.
Right.
So I wonder if maybe I'll give that a shot. Like in the morning, I'll put the beard oil on, then wait, and before I leave, just put a nice coat of like the balm on, because the wax will keep better than the butter will, right? So it won't get absorbed really like the butter does. So I didn't think of that. So I'll get back to you in a week, Mike, and I'll let you know.
I do all 3. I do oil, butter, and then balm.
Yeah.
And it gets really dry out by like the winter. I thought it got dry in Wisconsin, but that's a whole different realm of dryness out by him.
Yep.
Dynamite.
Yeah.
I think he was he got our oil and butter as a gift for Christmas. And I think I shocked him. When he sent me a little video, and he was like, "Hey," he's like, "I'm just, I'm trying it. Here's like a little video how you can see." And he sent me afterwards, and I was like, "Well, what do you think?" And he was like, "Dude," he's like, "It's like, yeah." And I was like, "All right, that's what I like to hear." So, like I said, I haven't had really any bad feedback. I've had the odd person say, like they don't like this scent, or like they don't like that scent, or a lot of people ask about so you use vanilla oleoresin or oleoresin in our blends, like a couple of them, I think Grand Piano and Lemon Sugar Cookie, our holiday scent. So because of that essential oil, it's only partially soluble in oil, so you get the fallout that sinks to the bottom. So I get so many messages about people like, you have stuff in your oil. I'm like, yeah, I know. And then I have to send them like the picture from like our supplier that says, yeah, it's partially soluble. You will get, like sediment in the bottom. I'm like, it's fine. It won't hurt you. It does nothing to you. It's just, I can't get around it if I want to use vanilla in some of the scents. So that's probably the only bad feedback I've got. That's, they're like, oh, you have stuff in your oil. I'm like, yeah, well, and then after you explain it, then like, oh, okay, so never mind. Then it's fine. But people don't know, right? So
Yeah, we had a different company on who actually uses aloe vera gel in theirs, and Mike can tell you, it looks like there's stuff floating.
Yeah, like when I got it, I was like, Scott, is this normal? Like, is this supposed to look like this?
Like, you just gotta shake it, and it
Yeah.
Yep. Kind of blends back in a little bit. And,
right.
Yeah, that's funny though. But like you said, people don't know. You can put the question up, Mike. It's okay. I'm gonna read it.
I wasn't sure if you guys covered it or not. Well,
I don't know. I don't know if I did or not. I couldn't read it.
It's about the peppermint mocha.
Will
you be coming back with the Christmas scents?
So we've
Christmas
next year for sure. We'll probably bring back. I don't know if we'll bring back all of them. We might bring it back like one or two of them and add another one. But we've also been talking about, maybe during the year, like doing some contests or like giveaways, stuff like that. Maybe throwing in like the holiday, one of the holiday scents so that other people, just kind of keep it there, but not as like a full-time able to buy it anytime you want, but it might pop up here and there, like maybe like a long weekend or something like that, like, hey, this weekend, if you want the scent, you can buy it or something like that. So like I said, it's for being our first year, when we launched, we're Halloween people. We love Halloween. My wife is that Starbucks, pumpkin spice latte kind of girl. So the fact that we weren't able to put out a fall scent because of when we launched was basically right at the same time. Have a good night, Chris. So we kind of skipped over the fall one and went right to Christmas, but we weren't sure either how it would be perceived by the community. Like, I have no idea what other people have come out with, and we just kind of went off of things that we like, and then I sold out of those fairly quick. I think I made, I want to say 20 of each holiday scent, and they sold out like real fast. So I had to make more, and I was like, oh, okay, that went well. So at least people enjoyed them.
That peppermint mocha's one I probably wish I picked up.
The one that, because Mike got peppermint mocha. Which one did you get, Scott? Did you get the sugar cookie or nutcracker?
Nutcracker.
Yeah, nutcracker is the least favorite of the three of them for me, anyway.
I actually liked it.
Yeah, it smells nice. It's not that. Yeah, it's not that I hate it, but my favorite is peppermint mocha, and then the lemon sugar cookie, and then the nutcracker.
I know Jason made a lot of comments about the lemon sugar cookie.
Yeah, he really liked it. Yeah, absolutely.
It honestly smells like a fresh baked lemon sugar cookie. Like Mel, I've gotten messages from Ken's wife Mel about that one. She loved that one. She was like,
"What does she know about cookies?"
I don't. She knows something, but we should ask Roy. Him and Little Cajun know something about her cooking. So
yeah, that's right.
I've had enough of her cookies.
Oh, are you the repeat buyer I keep seeing up on their Instagram there?
No,
Scott.
No. My wife happened to win their giveaways twice.
Yeah.
Hey, that's even better.
And when I came out to meet up with Scott and Ken and Mel and Becky, Mel made us some cookies for our trip to Nashville for our road trip, and it was awesome.
That's good though. But hey, good for her for getting it on her shop now, right? So
yeah.
So then we have the butter. We've already kind of been talking about it. It's $19 for a 2 ounce. It has shea butter, argan seed oil, squalene oil, camellia seed oil, meadow foam seed oil, rice bran oil, and perfume.
If you get the scented one.
Mhm.
Yeah, because I think Mike, you got black tie, right? I think.
Yep, black tie affair. Love it.
That's Corey Beards. He loves that.
Yeah.
Black tie and the mint, but he's a mint guy like Dan. So
Mm-hmm.
for me, I love the grand piano. That's my favorite.
When here we have the scents since we've been talking about them. Black tie affair is eucalyptus, peppermint, and key lime. That's a interesting combination.
So good.
And we have grand piano, which is fir balsam, cedarwood, vanilla, and black spruce.
I think Jason got that one, if I remember correctly.
I believe so.
And you got the old fashioned.
Yes, which is pink grapefruit, black spruce, and black pepper. Then we've got penthouse, which is key lime, bergamot, pink grapefruit, and lemon. And we have unscented, which is just natural carrier.
And it's fairly pretty close to being truly unscented too. Like I don't think there's no real smell to like any of the oils. Maybe the tiniest bit, but it's pretty like neutral. There's no like crazy smells to it. So
yeah. I know the old fashioned's pretty nice. When I actually got the bottle and tried it, thinking, is this actually like an old fashioned, the drink?
And so we've been talking here at home. So we got obviously a limited amount of essential oils to start with because they can be pretty expensive because they're natural.
Mm-hmm.
So as we've expanded our oils since then, we've actually talked about remaking the old fashioned with the actual orange, like a sweet orange.
Yeah.
Instead of the pink grapefruit to give it that true old fashioned smell. But it's pretty close with the pink grapefruit. Like
it is.
That citrusy. Like it's not far off. It's not a true old fashioned, but it's pretty close. That it does smell pretty good. So
yeah, I just found that interesting. Old fashions are known to be like the drink of Wisconsin at like Wisconsin dinner clubs.
Yep. I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
I've never had an old fashioned, like an actual drink. Smell it too, but I've never actually had one myself. So I'm gonna have to splurge and try it out, so that way I know what people are thinking when they smell my beard oil.
Yeah, actually, most people from Wisconsin use brandy, but a lot of people lately have been using bourbon for it. So it's just kind of interesting.
See, I've only known it with bourbon.
Yeah.
Personally.
Yeah, that would be my preference personally. And then we have a sample kit, which is for 10 milliliter bottles. And you get the old fashioned, black tie affair, penthouse, and grand piano. Which is, it's a pretty good deal.
Yeah, well, when we got the bottles, they said they were 15 mil bottles. So I was like, it's like half of one. It's a pretty big sample. I was like, but, being from Canada, going to the US might make people, a little more willing to put the money out and the shipping, because now you're getting a decent amount of oil. But when I put in the 15 mils, I couldn't put a topper in. It would overflow. So I had to back it up a little bit to the 10 mils. But even 10 mils is pretty decent. Like most people have gotten the sample kit, they're like, that's like a good amount of oil. So
right. And basically out of sample, you're just trying, well, a lot of times you're trying to find what scents you like.
Yep.
So that should be plenty.
Yeah. And it's actually, the sample kits helped us out a lot. I wanted to have them when we launched. Obviously with like the amount of money we were able to put into the business without getting loans and grants and that kind of stuff. I wasn't able to make it happen right away. But since we've come out with the samples, our growth has gone up quite a bit because, like you said, people don't want to buy a full 1 ounce bottle and hate it. What are you going to do with it? So once we got the samples out, they just started like order for sample. And I was like, oh, okay, well, that's good. So it was really nice once we got those out. It's helped a lot. So
Cool.
Yeah. And you also have, well, it's kind of a combo, a beard starter kit for $50 for a beard oil, a beard balm, and a beard butter. Pretty good deal.
because it would be
your limit for shipping is 55.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
you-
we've looked at, because that's and it's funny that you say it, because it's like you said, like it's $50. So it would normally be 57 if you bought each one individually. So I wanted people to be able to save if they bought them all at once. But then, like you said, then how do you get to that 55? So we do have the stickers that are, like a few bucks or whatever to kind of allow you to bump up without having to buy like something else. But I was laughing because I was like, okay, you buy 3 products, you get free shipping. But then I'm like, but if you buy them in the combo, then you don't get the free shipping. So it's like, what do you do? Because you want people to save some money. So I guess I could probably work it out to somewhere where I offer the oil and butter as a combo, and then have the balm not included in that like starter kit. So that way, if you buy the oil and butter, buy the balm, it'll put you like right at that, like shipping threshold kind of thing, right? So
yeah, that, or I've seen a lot of companies who will have a bundle and then they'll throw like a comb in it, or
yeah. Well, and we are looking at other like things that we can buy, because we stock Chicago combs. So most people have like a comb like that. So that's a lot to throw into a bundle, unless it's like a true, like a beard wash, a beard conditioner, a beard butter, a beard balm, beard oil, like a whole kit. Then putting a Chicago comb in isn't too bad, but to like throw a comb in with a kit like that, I might sell 1 or 2, but that's like a big bump up with the Chicago comb in it. So we're looking at like other options that we could kind of put in, whether it's like a little just a tiny comb or something like that you will get, that might not be a Chicago comb quality, but it's still like the good enough to use on your beard that it's not going to do any damage, but cheap enough that we can still keep the cost down and reach the threshold. So
yeah.
Luckily for me, when I purchased from you guys, you had the Christmas scent, so I just threw that in and got free shipping.
See, there you go.
Oh, but the ring in the picture doesn't come with the starter
Not
kit.
included.
It's right here. It's my actual like wedding band. So. Sorry, you can't have that.
So I did see someone else comment about the glass containers, which I'm a huge fan of as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm really happy that it does come in glass. Was that like a big decision for you as far as like going between glass and plastic?
So for the glass and plastic was never an issue. I'm all for like the glass for the recyclability, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing I wish I might have spent a little bit more time on was looking at maybe something different for the balm, but that's what the 2 colored lids are for. Black is butter, white is balm, so you can still tell them apart. And obviously, if you look at the label, the top hat word on the butter and balm, one is the colored, one is, I believe, the white version. So the actual word top hat on like our logo is a different color. So that's another like feature of it. Yeah, one's white colored. So I tried to do as much as I could to make them different, but still be able to use like those glass jars that are recyclable, probably hold up a little bit better than like the plastic cracking or something like that's a little bit thicker. But if it breaks, it's still going to break. But we try and limit that with our packaging and stuff. So, but yes, I like for me, the biggest factor was the frosted glass. That's what I wanted. I wanted the frosted glass, so that's why the oil bottles are frosted glass. The butter and bomb are frosted glass. I didn't like the metal tins that I had samples of, all the different ones I got. I just didn't like them. I wanted a certain color, but it was either the gray or the gold, and the gold was really expensive compared to the gray. So I was like, you know what? I'll just get the jars then, and I'll just find a way to separate them. So.
Mm-hmm.
And that Cajun family is asking if there's anyone here that never tried Top Hat yet.
There's probably a few people.
I don't know. I was pleasantly surprised.
Which is what I'd love to hear. Like I said, most people though that I've, because we're still small enough that all the orders that go out, I'm able to keep on top of them. So I basically, if you get an order from me and you guys can attest to it, when it's out for delivery, I'm like, hey, guess what's coming today? And then as soon as it pops up delivered, I'm like, hey, what'd you think? And then I think it was Mike. I was like, I haven't heard back from Jason or Scott yet. Like, what do they think? He's like, I'm pretty sure they liked it. Just give them a day, okay? Like, don't jump on them right away. So.
Well, I'm like, well, what can I tell?
and that's what it is. Like, I've gotten better at. I'll know it's out for delivery. I will reach out, make sure everything came okay. Nothing broken, nothing in that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. And then I'll be like, I'll reach out to you if you don't message me back in a couple days to get what you think about it. Because I'm still in that, I can believe in what I have, but I still want to make sure if there's a way I can make it better. I'm small enough at the moment I can get that feedback from people. Because if I was pumping out, like 200 orders a day, how do you keep on top of that? It's impossible. So right now it's part of that quality control, I guess you could say, right? Trying to make sure that I'm, everything's going good with, people like it. How can I adjust it? That kind of stuff. So.
Yeah, when you first get it, it's like you're still trying to decide.
Yeah, you haven't even put it in your beard yet because you got whatever you put in that day in already. So you gotta wait. Gotta wait till wash it.
Yeah, I'm like, it smells pretty good.
It smells good. I couldn't tell you anything else about it. Feels like oil. Feels like butter. Yeah.
Right.
Do I make more sales to Canada or the United States? I haven't really looked, but I think right now it's heavier on the state side. Wow. Only because I haven't done a lot of marketing through like Instagram, Facebook, Google ads. So in Canada, most of the beer community is United States. It's not Canada, it's not UK, it's more USA. So because I'm on Instagram and a lot of you guys follow me and share my stuff, I'm more recognized in the States right now than Canada, but that will change this year. Like I'm already local barbershops, local vendor shows, all that stuff. So this year is going to be I want it to be a big growth year, but if it doesn't happen as a big growth year, so be it. But the marketing side this year is going to be big for me in Canada, that's for sure. So.
Have you looked into of course I can't think of it now, but it's a yearly thing in Toronto around November time. One of a kind, something one, where it's all like small business, kind of like market in the convention center in Toronto.
No, I haven't. So I go to the like the outdoorsman show at the convention center.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be good because there's lots of beards for outdoors guys. That I want to hit the Barber Expo this year. So I'm trying to look into, like you said, like more things that are small business, places where I can get out and market myself too. So that's what it is this year. Now that I have shipping under my belt, producing, how to blend the oils, where I'm sourcing all my stuff from. Now that I have all that kind of figured out, I can focus now more on marketing as the internal stuff kind of does its own thing, right? So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's called One of a Kind.
I'll look it up for sure.
Yeah, One of a Kind. And they actually charge people to go into it, and it's like a huge hit.
Yeah, like I said, when we get out, probably tomorrow, like on one of my breaks at work or something, I'll definitely look into it. So, yeah, see, there we go. I just got to learn, let people wait a day.
Give it a day.
Yeah, it's true. Canada, like nobody in Canada.
It's interesting.
That gets like the beard, like grooming side of it. Like it's still looked at as if it's like as if you're almost like in the gay community if you're taking care of your beard, because like you're a man.
Metrosexual.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. You're a man. You shouldn't be, it's your beard. Like, who cares? And I actually did an interview with, I don't know if you guys have seen on Dan's Instagram, Veteran Cuts. He's the barber that cuts for the Columbus Crew. I sat down with him on Tuesday and did like a YouTube interview with him.
Oh.
And we got talking about the LGBTQ plus community and how men need to start realizing, like I said, it's an analogy I use, which it's not really an analogy, but I said, when somebody looks at me and they're like, well, why do you put stuff in your beard? I'm like, okay, let's sit down for it. If you have a woman and she has a male best friend, and like the Veteran Cuts guy, he started laughing. He goes, I know exactly what you're going to say. I was like, well, I said, most people say it's a gay man. Why? Because he takes care of himself. He washes himself. He maintains himself. I was like, and women love that men do that. It just always ends up being, oh, well, he's my gay best friend because he's the one that does it. No normal straight man does. And I said, but now that it's slowly shifting into guys taking care of themselves, and I was even telling him about we are stocked in it's like a medical spa, I guess you call it. My wife gets laser hair removal done. It's a good friend of hers. So I went in there to talk to her. And she said, yeah, it's, like 80% women that come through to get like bikini, like laser hair removal, like their underarms, all that. She goes, but now she's starting to see men come in. Mm-hmm. They'll go to the barbers, get lined up for their beard, go right to her, and then get it zapped so that their beard doesn't grow back as fast. So it stays how they have it longer. And I was like, I'll be damned. Like, it's just something I wouldn't think of as like a guy.
Right.
As it gets, more and more out there, guys are starting to do these things to take care of themselves, and this is where the beard industry is blowing up.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice that it's
absolutely,
like you said, that it's coming around. Like, I couldn't imagine now going back, even having just like a stubble, and not using a beard oil, and
right,
washing my face with a beard wash or something. Like, it's now you just think, oh man, that's gross.
Right.
On occasion, I'll have days where I don't do anything because I'm really not going anywhere, just sticking around home, and it's like, man, this just doesn't feel right.
Right, yeah.
And it's true, right? And you notice it like almost right away too. Like if you miss like an oil or a butter or something, all of a sudden it's just like, oh, it doesn't feel good. Like today, I'm having a great beard day today. Like I messaged Johnny Z earlier. I sent him a picture, and after I got home, had a shower. I know I saw Roy's question up there. I am working on a daily wash and conditioner, so I'm testing out a bunch of different stuff. So I put it in, washed my beard, conditioned it, got out, put in, I think it was peppermint mocha. I put in after I got out of the shower and brushed it out, and my beard was just like huge and full and thick. And I was like, I messaged Johnny. I was like, look, I got a Johnny Z beard today. It's full and majestic, and I look good. He was howling. He's like, oh my god. I was like, what? Like I don't get good beard days like that yet. I'm still in that, like, kind of getting to that fuller spot now as it grows out in the bottom. But
well, yeah, and I think a lot more taking care of your beards nowadays is more self-care. It puts you in a good mood. Mm-hmm. You're smelling good.
Mm-hmm. Well, like I say, you get compliments, and not only that, as a man, we were, like you said, like we didn't have anything besides like, as a guy, we had to go to work, do whatever your job is, come home, and what was the next thing for guys? Play sports, work outside, or like play video games. Well, now we can focus on something that is visible to other people, and like you say, you get compliments on it now. Like you go out and walking down the street, and some guy's like, hey man, like nice beard, and it's like, oh,
Yeah.
I don't get that before. Usually it's like, hey man, you walk by with your wife and they're like looking at your wife. Now they're looking at you on the way up. They're like, oh, look at that beard, look at that beard. So it's nice for guys, right, to finally be able to get some kind of I don't know, I guess like charismatic thing about you.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah, and like you said, like your significant other really does like that you take care of your face, your beard, you're hygienic, and you take care of that stuff, whether it's a woman or a man. I'm sure they really appreciate that you do that.
and it's true, right? Like my wife, I put beard oil in like every day now, and as soon as I finish putting beard oil in, go get like a hug or something from her, and it's right into the. She's like,
yeah,
you're wearing my favorite today, or it's like, oh, you smell. What do you have in today? Like what company? Now that I'm getting like a shelf full of like, I think I have some Copper Johns coming in this week. I have Tabletop coming in. I have Notables. I have Dr. Nick's. So like I'm slowly getting other companies coming in so I can try them out and see what their blends are. And like you said, like it's every day. It's like, oh, what are you wearing today? And it's fun because her whole family, most of them have beards and they never took care. So I had lots of people to test on. Like my wife's grandfather grew a beard again just so he could try the product because the rest of the family was talking about it. They're like, wow. Oh, it smells so good. So he's like, I'm going to grow my beard back in. He grew the best of all of us. His is nice and full and thick. And I'm so jealous. But yeah, every time I see him, he's like, oh, I have that penthouse in today. He goes, it smells so good and my beard feels so good. And there you go, right? So, yeah, I'd much rather smell great than a fang dumpster too, whatever a fang dumpster is.
Oh, he meant dang.
Educate, yeah, and it's true, right? Like you said, some people. So I went and sat down at a barber shop the other day talking wholesale, and I gave him my product, and they're talking about like pricing and stuff like that. And he goes, "Well, I get my beard oil that I use." He goes from it's like a local beauty supply store. He's like, "So unless you can match what I get it from them," he goes, I can't buy your product." And I told him, I said, well, unfortunately, I can't match what they are. And he's like, well, I'll buy like hundreds of bottles. And so I grabbed the one that he had, turned it around, and I said, you tell me what those first 5 ingredients are. I said, and I will match the price. And he was like, what? The first 5 were synthetic silicones. And I looked them up when I got home, and I was like, that one shouldn't be on your face. That one shouldn't be on your skin. Right. I was like, that's why you get it so much cheaper. But that he didn't know. And he's like, what do you mean? And I took his oil because he's like, well, try it. It's like a foaming one. It's supposed to be like a sanitizer leave-in conditioner thing. So he's like, oh yeah, this is what I have. He goes, rub it and put it in your beard. So I rubbed it in my hands and I was like, I'm not putting it in my beard though. He's like, why? I was like, well, why? I don't know what those are. And I can tell you already. So I did that with his. I had him put my oil in his hands. And I said, let's wait for 10 minutes and see what happens. 10 minutes later, his hands were dry. And my hands were still nice and greasy and that oily feeling. I was like, you're putting that in your beard and on your face. I was like, so, but again, like you said, they don't know. They just buy it based on it's in a beauty store. So like you said, it's nice knowing everything I know now. When you talk to people, you can tell them, no, like you should not be using that kind of stuff.
Right.
Right. And just because it's cheap doesn't make it better.
Well, and and it's cheaper because it's a man-made substance. They can make it anywhere.
Mm-hmm. So. Mm-hmm. Yeah, kind of similar to junk food and all those added additional stuff in food.
Why, when you go to a supermarket, you can buy vegetables that are on the shelves, or you can buy the organic vegetables for $2 more.
Right.
There's a reason, and it's same with the beard oil.
Yeah. Yeah.
So much bad product out there that people don't, and that's why I said that's the thing about Canada. When I talked to Dan, he said Canada is lacking in that education, and Mike, educated beards. That's what they're all about. That's what the name is: educating people about what the product is and how to, what you should be looking for as a bearded person. So,
right.
Mm-hmm.
So the more of us that are out there educating, the better for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. Dude baby shower. I've never gone to a dude baby shower.
No, I've never heard of one.
So do you know what a baby shower is, obviously, right?
Well,
Yeah, I mean, I imagine it's just dudes there.
Yeah. So instead, you go and drink beer.
Oh, okay.
We've had them up in like.
So there's no like cribs or onesies being given at this dude and baby.
So no, basically the women go do the baby shower. That's where they get all the good stuff.
Right.
And then all the guys meet up, and you just bring like a bunch of diapers and drink beer together. So
Gotcha. Okay.
there you go. Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Good night, Brad. Thanks for stopping in.
I don't even know what time is it anyway. I can't even. Oh, it's almost 11. Oh, we're doing pretty good.
Yeah. Time flies.
Well, I have like used my phone, so I can't like check the time. I forgot I have a giant wall clock sitting beside me, so.
Well, in the chat, does anyone else have any questions for Top Hat?
Corey, diapers for the baby, or all the guys drinking the beer.
Right.
I don't think we need to know.
Yeah, Chiefs talks. I'm sure he does.
Yeah.
Sure he does.
Roy. Yep. Unfortunately, I can't answer. Not unless you want to see my beautiful face. So I have a question for Mike. I don't know if Scott knows or not. Those mustache guards for the cups, do they work or do they not work?
They absolutely work.
Yeah. I gotta get one. I keep trimming my mustache back. I want like a big, thick, like nice handlebar one, but it keeps getting in the way of everything. So I'm like, so I cut it back. And then I've seen a couple guys with them now, and I'm curious if they actually work. So I figure.
Yeah. So I think Whisker Dam is the name of like the first company that kind of came out with them.
Yep.
And then there's some cheaper brands on like Amazon, like plastic, like the Whisker Dam is like real cool. It's like metal, and yeah, you just put on your cup and drink it, or you can get an Educated Beards coffee mug with it built in.
I saw that. I did. I was on their website the one day looking at it, and I saw it. And I was like, It's like, interesting.
Yeah, and Educated Beards one is a much wider, but you can't remove it. Like it's ceramic.
It's part of the.
So yeah, it definitely works. It definitely works.
It's good to know. You're gonna have to go on there and. Cool. And I actually, Mr. Philip Patton, I messaged him after his tutorial with Because, and I ordered Copper John's mustache wax and their Ghost Falls beard oil to match the wax, so that way I can try and start training it. So, updates coming.
Yeah.
When's the YouTube? So, oh man, I'm so horrible. So, I was talking to somebody about it the other day. Talked to Dan a bunch of times. He's like, get the YouTube going. He goes like, start with an intro, tutorials, and just random stuff. He goes, it doesn't matter. Just get on YouTube. Get doing it. So every time I do like a live like this and I listen to the playback, I personally think I sound like a little schoolgirl. My voice is really high and I don't like it. So then I'm like, I'm not making YouTube. I'm like, I'm like, yeah, okay, you know what? Today I'll just suck it up and I'll sit down. And then I'm like, no, I'm not doing it. And then a couple days will go by and I'm like, I'm doing an intro tonight. And then I don't do it. So I do need to sit down and actually like get on it and get going with it. And that's, like everybody, I've told a bunch of people that like what I think I sound like. And they go, we all think that. It's just, you don't hear your voice through a speaker, you just hear it like internally all the time, right? They go, so that's nobody trust this way he said, he goes, trust me, nobody is sitting there going, oh my god, he sounds like a schoolgirl. He goes, Mike Tyson made it, didn't he? And look how he sounds. So
yeah,
so it's true. But so it'll be, I have a few different ideas. I was talking to Ken Sconson about it. So there's no big Canadian like beard content people. I think there was two of them. One guy now owns Caribou, I think. I think he switched to Caribou
Mhm.
Beer Co. And stopped doing the YouTube stuff. And Jordan Cantalone Creations, I think, is the other one. But same thing. He kind of, not that he fell off, but he does a bunch of all over now. It's not just weird stuff.
Yeah. All right.
So I was telling Ken Conson, I said, I think that's where I'm going to focus in on doing tutorial videos, how-to videos, education videos, and then maybe a series on, where I dress up in like a top hat, full suit, out on the street. Where's the top hat guy today? Niagara Falls, if I'm in, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, walking around with some samples, have people, ask beard questions to guys. Hey, you want to do like 5 questions? If you get, like 3 of the 5 right, you'll get like an oil or whatever it is, or like a discount thing.
Mm.
So I have a bunch of different ideas. Now it's just a matter of getting rolling on them. So it'll be coming. I promise. It's just a matter of.
You have to wear a top hat while you do this.
The-
With the
the-
jean jacket.
So, and I saw somebody posted in the chat earlier that I should have wore my wedding suit for tonight, which would work. Unfortunately, that suit was made by Indochino. I don't know if you've ever heard of them. Basically, I walked into their store. They don't have any suits to try on like a normal suit store. They just measure you up. They have all their fabrics there and all the colors. You choose what you want. 5-week turnaround. You get your suit mailed to you. And then they give you a credit for alterations. So you just go to like a local tailor shop, any alterations they needed. But that suit cost me about $800 Canadian for one day. And I ripped the knee out of the pants on my wedding day that I wore it for.
Oh, wow.
I was a little under the influence, I guess you could say. My wife was on the dance floor and there was like a semi-circle, like a half circle around her. I can't remember what song came on. But I was talking to, I think, the photographer before he left in the corner. And whatever the song was that came on, I turned around and looked at her. I just ran at her and then slid on my knees like a John Travolta kind of thing. And it was a hardwood, like a parquet floor.
Mhm.
So I caught something and I ripped the knee out of the
Jeez.
suit pants. So, and where it is, it's not exactly easy to patch it. So I basically ruined a $800 suit for one day.
Wow.
Yep. So what does Nicholas say? With shipping, what is your packaging? It all depends. I have bubble mailers. I have boxes. I have large poly bags. So it all depends on how much you order and what you order is what you're getting, kind of thing. But everything gets bubble wrapped, taped, put into wherever it needs to be, the packing peanuts or whatnot. So I think you guys got. What did you guys? You got.
Box.
Bubble. Was it a box or was it?
I think mine came in a box.
I thought it was a bubble mailer. I think.
No idea. It was around Christmas time, so
Yeah, it's true. So
no idea.
you have any particular new scents you're working on? I'm trying to come up with a floral scent. So for the spring, summer, I want something that's like floral, earthy. Having a very hard time getting something floral and earthy with essential oils, but there are new scents we're working on. Like I said, I think, what I say, end of March, beginning of April, I think is when I'd like to release a new scent or two. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. But
What did they just inspire?
I don't
A
know.
breakdancing?
We'll find out.
Real?
oh boy, I can't wait to see it now. Chris and Tara breakdancing. Yeah, risky business, exactly.
Yeah.
I wasn't wearing my what was it? P-worm igloo? Was that what Chris put?
P-worm igloo, yeah. P-worm igloo. That is,
Oh, that's a classic.
Yeah, P-worm igloo.
one could break a suit. Yeah, you could change it to shorts.
Yeah, true. Or the jacket, the vest, right? So,
Yeah.
but
Or you could just be like Mike and get a Pac-Man suit.
oh, buddy, I think was I the first person that messaged you when you put that picture up on Instagram for Nationals?
I don't know.
I don't know, kids. I know you put the picture up, and I messaged you and said I love the suit, and I think I messaged Sean from 8-Bit right after, and I was like, "Did you see Mike's suit?" And he's like, no, why? I was like, you need to go see his suit right now because he just launched his classic.
Right, yeah.
Right then.
Yeah.
It was
It's
like
a coincidence.
perfect. And that's what I told him. I said, he's like advertising for you at Nationals
Yeah.
without even realizing.
Yeah, I remember Sean reaching out to me and like, what? It's like,
Yeah.
yeah.
That was funny, so it was a great suit. Like I said, I loved it. So
Yeah, I got a lot of compliments on it.
look good.
Like at the show. At the
Oh,
national-
that's what I mean. Like takes everybody back to like their childhood, right?
Right. Right.
Maybe not everybody, but probably a good portion of them look like,
Mhm.
you know, what's
It's gonna be hard to top that one.
A few of our recent guests have brought it up.
Yeah.
made a
More
lasting
so
impression.
than the disco suit that I wore at Tennessee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, guys, if there are no more questions, I think we're gonna wrap up tonight.
I was gonna say thank you guys for having me on.
Oh,
I know it was a challenge for Mike to get me to pick a date. I think he asked me 5 different times. Are you picking a date? Are you picking a date? Are you picking a date?
yeah, we had a few conversations about.
Yeah, well, because I think I told Mike, I was like, yeah, I'll message you tomorrow. And then like 4 days go by, and Mike's like, so did you
Ghosted.
pick a date?
Like numerous times.
Yeah, I was like, oh yeah, I'll talk to my wife tonight. I'll let you know in like an hour. Mike's like, all right, cool. A couple days go by. He's like, so did you talk to her? I'm like, dude, I'm horrible at this. Okay. And then finally, I think I said, give me all your dates in February or something like that. So he's like, here's all the dates. Because I'm usually busy Thursdays. Like we have like things we do on Thursdays, so I'm booked. And that was the problem. So finally I was like, you know what? Give me a date, I'll pick it, and then I'll just make sure I get rid of everything on that Thursday. So that's what it came down to. It was just a matter of finding a Thursday where I could be like, you know what? Hasta la vista.
I appreciate you coming on.
For sure. Like I said, I appreciate you guys having me on. It's nice when I get to go on, you know, like a live or a stream or a YouTube or whatever. So helps me with pushing that YouTube closer and closer. So
There you go. And listen back to this because you don't sound like a little girl.
perfect. I will listen to it and I will make sure I comment. Yeah, I do sound like a little girl. But yeah, I hope you guys have a good night.
Cool.
Let us all know how Jason did with the surgery once you guys hear something. I don't know if you'll hear before us or if he'll post on Instagram or something like that, but I hope everything went well.
Yeah.
Hope to see him back on the show, you know, in a few weeks or whatever. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
So everybody,
what the hell? That wasn't a little girl.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks everyone for coming on
Yep.
show tonight. And
Good night,
next
everybody.
week will be a surprise guest.
Ooh, we get a surprise next week.
Yeah, surprise guest next week.
Sweet. Is it Evan from Educated Beards?
It's a surprise.
Because if so, I got lots of questions.
He's been on our show for a couple of times.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, it's probably before I joined the community and stuff. So
No, but you're busy on Thursdays.
not that long ago. What was it?
Yeah, it was
December?
December. Yeah, December he was on. Oh, bye.
Well, good night, everyone. Thanks for joining us, and make sure to come back next Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern and see who our surprise guest is. Respect the journey, y'all. Find the button.